Hello, people. Today I wanted to just talk. I wanted to rant. As to be fair, the channel is doing pretty bad. Not that I care, even though if I'm saying it, I might care a little. So I figure I just talk about whatever I want. And if this could be a long one, I don't know how long it's gonna be. So just play along, play at 1.5, play at 2x speed. But I'm just gonna talk about what I see in the market, what I see on YouTube. So market sentiment, and then what I see in the data. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a playlist called Discord Bot. I highly recommend you guys watch it. Basically, if you join the Discord, which is absolutely free, you can have access to a lot of European data on basically all Sword and Shield and Sky Invited boxes, some singles, some Japanese. And that gives you a pretty good idea of the market. Now, for instance, and the rant has started if you hadn't realized. So for instance, recently, as you may know, there's the whole check inventory levels on the Pokemon Center UK, US, maybe in Canada. So basically, with the bot, you can do a similar thing with what is listed in the European market. Now, there could be a project where I could deploy. You know what? I won't spoil it. But yeah, with the bot, you have access to data that are on the European market. Now, if you're American, as I always say, so if again, it's a rant. So if you're American and you're still watching, thank you. Consider subscribing at this point. I mean, you're watching. You may say, Barrett, what the fuck do I care about European data? Good question, my friend. Good question. So the answer is, the markets move together. Now, many times, the European market is a reflection of the American market. However, especially for Japanese, and here when it gets very interesting. Now, I know some of you Americans don't really like Japanese, while some others do. Now, if you like Japanese all comes from Japan, obviously. As a matter of fact, it does say for sale in Japan only on every box and packs, I believe. And obviously, the moment it's imported, when you look at, so many times what will happen is larger European sellers will have their availability for a box, a Japanese box. So they're going to list 20, 30. They might have it in stock, or they know that their Japanese Japanese seller, can have them deliver at their door in 48 to 72 hours from when they ordered it. So when you see the stock, so the supply levels for Japanese boxes going down in the European market, you know that it's highly possible that it's also going down in Japan. If it's going down in Japan, it's going down in the US and Canada and whatever, Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, right? So that's very interesting. And many people slept on Ruler of the Black Flame, which is the Japanese equivalent of Obsidian Flames. Now, to be fair, there was a little slight hint that box might have done decent. And that teeny tiny detail was a freaking Charizard as on top of the box. I don't know if you guys saw it, but again, as usual, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a Charizard on the freaking box. Just saying, that could have hinted at something. But I might share the data by the time I edit this. But it's a good time to join the Discord and try the bot yourself, so you can actually see if I'm lying or not. I think if you look at the supply chart for the past 6 months, it started in the 800, I think, and then it it does this. It keeps on going down. So, as Rudy says, you don't need to look at price, and I always preach the same. You don't need to look at price. You need to look at supply. Once you look at supply, you know what to do next, and that also is a great thing. It's a great tool. And it's a great thing to look at for singles. Now I made a play on the Giratina. As a matter of fact, I bought the Giratinas. I bought two PSA 9s for 135 each. Now I have yet to receive them. As a matter of fact, they need to ship them yet to me, and lowest listed raw Giratina is 150 plus euros. So I'm unrealized. Yeah, I'm already in the greens, unrealized greens, so unrealized profits. And how did I do that? I just look at the freaking supply. The supply was, and I shared in a little video. I made a video. I think it was the last video. 50 views. 50 views. Again, don't take it personal. I just enjoyed. By the way, just a second. Because I'm doing something right now. I need to do one thing. Okay, I won't edit it because I'm too lazy. The goal of this video is not to edit anything, so I can just make as many videos as possible. Yes, I'm lazy, but at least I'm authentic. Now, yeah, 50 views, 50 views. I literally shared the supply data in the European market. I said, and this can also, and it's not only me sharing data, it's me sharing a thinking process. Look at supply, and by looking at supply, you can just count the listings on TCG Player. If you're American, just count them. Now you can code something so that it counts them for you. It makes it easier and faster. We just need to be able to count, and I'm pretty sure you guys know how to count. It doesn't take much. And see when it just, I know I'm just surprised, but and then I see people doing very well, which I'm happy for them. And oh yeah, market sentiment. You open YouTube, so I have different YouTube accounts based on Barry Collector. If I open the home page of Barry Collector, it's going to be a lot of Pokemon and TCG related content. So you see the Poke Office. Oh, the market is booming. You see Nostalgianomic. The market is booming. It's time to sell. Blah blah blah. Now I'm just throwing out names. Pokeoz, Phillips. The major PokeTubers about Pokemon investing, even though I don't know, I'm gonna sound like a brick, but yeah, I'm gonna sound like a brick. I'll shut up. But and it's all about, oh, the market is booming. Yes, the market is booming. Now, you can either watch the videos and think about, oh, the market is booming. I'm missing out. I need to buy Fusion Strike $350. Like a Vapor Self. By the way, Vapor, if this video ever gets to you, it's impossible to contact you. If you want to come on the live on the channel for a live stream, you are most welcome. And any of you guys, if you have a YouTube channel, about Pokemon, obviously, and if you vend, if you have an online business, whether it's in UK, EU, the US, Canada, Brazil, wherever, Antarctica. Yeah, if you sell Pokemon cards in Antarctica, please contact me. I want you on my live stream. But yeah, you guys do. So yeah, market sentiment. As I said, you just need to look at the homepage of YouTube. Everything is booming. Now, the question that a smart investor should ask themselves, whatever, excuse my poor English, is what is not booming? And once you try to come up with answers to that question, you should ask, will it boom? Right? So here's my advice. Not my advice, not financial advice. Here's what I came up with to that question. So what is not booming? Japanese main sets. Now, a very interesting thing is happening. I look at some Japanese stores, and the prices for super electric breakers are pretty high. As a matter of fact, you can find them for about 50 to 55 euros range in the EU, so probably $50 in the US, and could be 45 to 50 pounds in the UK. But they're expensive, and they're 6,500 yen in Japan. Now I know there has been some sort of a reprint in beginning of the month, maybe. I don't know, or a couple of weeks ago. Now, me, Barrett, I don't know much about Pokemon, right? I know a lot about mathematics, yes, Barrett, we know, okay. But I see price, going higher in Japan. I see opportunity in the Western markets. I think it's pretty interesting. Now the question to that is, will they reprint it? Question mark. Another question should be, can I put my money somewhere else that will make more profits? Now, if you truly know how to answer that question, you're going to be rich. So you can only make educated guesses. But I think it's a pretty good, let's call it opportunity, superelectric breaker. Oh yeah, I looked at it, by the way, especially on TCG Player. So if you're American still watching and you haven't subscribed, I don't know why you're still watching, but TCG Player, Origin Form Dialga, so the alt art from Astro. It's looking very interesting, very juicy, as a matter of fact. There's a few listings in the high 40s, low 50s, I think. And then there's just a hole in the supply chain. No, that didn't sound right, did it? There's the market depth is not really deep, so it usually jumps to $70. So I think that's a pretty good, because nobody talks about Astro. Remember that. They'll talk about Fusion. They'll talk about Chillin, EVA Skies, Lost Origin, Tempest. Everyone's top. I mean, not everyone. I cannot say everyone, but all the big names, PokeTubers, stop talking about Astro. That is called opportunity. So yeah, as I always say, you need to, when you look for the next best thing, you need to look where anyone else is looking. So always think about, nobody's talking about that set. Do some research, look at supply, look at this, look at that, and try to come up with an educated guess. But the market is strong. As I said, I sold two Arceus Gold Star, two Gold Arceus from Vista Universe in 24 hours. I sold the God Wars from Palladian Fates in also 24 hours. The market is strong. If you just need to, if you're looking for single plays, there's many. Just need to know where to look at. Oh, by the way, also, speaking about Japanese, if you can do the same thing with singles, and I kind of regret missing out, but I wanted to see if I was right, and I was. So I was monitoring market prices in Japan for the evolutions, and I was also monitoring market price for again in Japan for the SARs from Superelectric Breakers, so Pikachu, Hydreigon, Milotic, and the Latias from Paradise Dragona. Now, that guy, Latias, it kept on moving higher in Japan. It was 90 euros on Card Market. It then reached a point where it was the equivalent of 90 euros in Japan. So you need to add VAT, 20%, 20-ish%, and shipping. Yeah, if you're a store, you're going to save on shipping, blah, blah, blah. Still, you need to add about 20% after all. So 90 euros, it doesn't take a genius, right? 90 euros in Japan. It's 90 euros on Card Market. It sounded like a buy. Guess what? Look at Latias EX. Today, Card Market, lowest listed, 120 euros. But I just want to observe. So, lesson learned. Obviously, there's always risk. Remember that. I think nobody talks about risk in this game. We are seeing great returns. I think it's a great thing if you don't have a lot of money to play with. If you have hundreds of thousands, I wouldn't put hundreds of thousands, not because of risk, but also because of, I recently discovered Anon TCG. Great guy. He says to be some sort of a financial advisor, I think. And I believe he's American, not Canadian. But yeah, if you're watching it and you want to come to the channel, come on a live stream, let me know. Yeah, there's the liquidity problem. So if you put 100,000 in there's a liquidity problem. but we'll not go into it. Otherwise, some people are gonna heat up. But yeah, if you buy $100,000 worth of Poly Evolved, and you want to sell it, it's not gonna be just like selling 100,000 shares worth of Apple. Selling 100,000 shares worth of Apple, it's gonna take you probably 10 seconds. The equivalent of Poly Evolved is gonna take you, let's say let's say more than 10 seconds. Yeah, I was I'm ranting. So yeah, the Latias, at the end of the day, I wanted to say that. Look at price in Japan. Look at the equivalent in your market, European, UK market, American market, whatever. That usually are interesting plays. Now, I'm not integrating because of many things. When I want to integrate something, I want to see the card in person, and I just don't have the possibility to do that. So I don't really. Plus, being integrated in the European Union, let's be honest, people, it sucks. Fellow Europeans, let me know down in the comments. It sucks, doesn't it? Just a pain in the butt, but it's not. In my opinion, it's not worth it. I think it's a bit different if you're in the UK, because in the UK, I have a feeling that there's more car shows. Plus, obviously, the cards are in English, but still, there's more car shows. There's more LGSs. So I think it makes it a bit easier if you're in the UK. But EU, I think it's just I don't know. I don't think it's worth it for me. We can go explore that route, but we're almost at 20 minutes. But I did warn you it was going to be a long one. So yeah, and then last but not least, last thing I wanted to say for today's rant is another thing I think I want to, let's say, do some analysis on. But I need the data. But I can do some with a few data. I don't have. It's complicated. Anyways, the point is, think about this. So you have two cards, right? Let's take once again the Latias EX from Paradise Garona and Surgeon Sparks. So you have the English and English, Surgeon Sparks, and Japanese. So if you had data, so you knew that every major hit of every set, SV, Sword and Shield, because those are the ones with the largest supply. You know that there appear to be some sort of relation between the price, so the ratio of the two. Let's say on average, let's make an example. On average, the English counterpart is going to be 1.25 times, so 25% more expensive than the Japanese counterpart. And then if you, let's say you serve that over X number of cards. Now, if you are a statistician or mathematician or science person, you should already, I would ask myself, okay, what is a sufficient number of cards to make that data being worth looking at? That's a good question, right? I'm ranting. I'll finish the example, okay? So you get the point. You see, okay, over these number of cards, the average ratio was 1.25, so 25% English cards are more expensive than Japanese. And then for this card right now in English is selling at 2x the price of Japanese. What will happen? Will the English go down? Will the Japanese go higher and catch up with the English counterpart? I think that's something interesting to observe. Now, as I said, you should ask yourself, okay, but what is the sufficient number of cards I need to look at to have a reliable analysis on my data? That's a great question. That's called statistics. Do I know the answer? Yes. Will I tell you the answer? No, because it's not the point of the video. Many of you wouldn't care, and it's a pretty important answer because it opens up the possibility of let's say strategies that on average could turn out to be winning strategies, making money, being backed up by not only data but mathematics, which is pretty powerful. And that's the same thing, and I'm gonna end it with this. The same thing applies to, let's look at historical data. How many booster boxes should I look at to have to be at some level being able to say, okay, I'm confident that it's gonna happen the same in the future. How many booster boxes should I look at? That's a good question, isn't it? Think about it. Did anyone, when they do all their videos, did anyone ever, I mean, maybe they did. I haven't looked at all of them, but did everyone ever say, I mean, does Nostalgianomics ever say, oh, look, this beat it, if you look back at the Sword and Shield, X and Y, Sun and Moon, whatever, they're all up. It's gonna happen. It's possible. It's gonna happen again. Did ever cross anyone's mind to say how many boxes is enough boxes? And just the question I just said makes sense. It depends, because you should ask, okay, how many boxes is enough boxes to look at from the past to have some sort of let's say your analysis to be of some sort of significance, statistical significance, relevance. And that's a pretty good question. The answer is not easy. If it was, everyone would be talking about it, but it's not easy. Yeah, as usual, what I try to do is give you some food for thought. Again, I always say, you can make investing really simple. You can buy every set, what most people do. Buy every set, blah, 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 blah. Close your eyes. It happened in the past, it might happen again. Absolutely. If I knew the future, I wouldn't be here making YouTube videos. I would be on the Caribbean, stranded on a beach. Ah, God, I wish I was. Whereas it's December and it's freaking cold. But you can also make it extremely complicated. You can create extremely complicated models, but at least, those models have a mathematical background, mathematical foundations, and to some degree, you can rest assured you did your job right. With that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, people. Have a happy new year.